All right, class. I wanted today to take another look at library sources. Some of you are finding sources in the New York Times, but they are not articles. They are letters to the editor or other types of information which are not the best sources to use for an academic paper. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to the SDSU library. We're still going to focus on the New York Times. Let me show you a different way to get in than I showed you previously. Click on Journals. Let's go ahead and type in the New York Times. All right, now here you have a number of different kinds of New York Times sources to look at. I would recommend that we focus on number 1 and number 4. Let's take a look at number 1 first, New York Times International Edition. Let's go ahead and click on Global News Stream. And let's say we want to look at obesity. First thing I would do is go back and say, let's take the articles from the last 10 years. So we have recent information. And now any of these articles will be perfectly good articles to use in your academic paper. Notice that the New York Times internationally is known as the International Herald Tribune. That's perfectly fine to use that as a source. All right, so that's one way of looking at New York Times articles. Let's look at the other option that we have. Let me go back. Okay, so here we are back at the New York Times and different sources here. Let's now look at number 4, New York Times here. Okay, now we have full text available from 1980 or from 2015. Let's go back to the older one, 1980. Click on Global News Stream. All right, again, let's go ahead and search for obesity. Okay, so we have some interesting things here. First of all, let's go ahead and narrow our search to the last 10 years. And now, the interesting thing about this particular search result is that it gives you a little bit more information about each source. So for example, here, this article is from the Science Desk. That means the division of the New York Times that is responsible for writing about science. That would be a great source to use in an academic paper. Letter, no. You don't want a letter. A letter is just people who wrote to the newspaper and gave their opinion about a topic. That's not going to count as an academic source. National Desk should be perfectly fine. Letters, no. So once you find, and also editorial, that is the newspaper writing their own opinion about a topic. You don't want to use an editorial for our purposes. So look for National Desk or Science Desk. Let's go back up to our Science Desk article here. And here is a perfectly good article that you can use for your research. We can see how to cite it. We've already been through that, but also what you can do is you can email it to yourself, right? So you can type in your email address, your name, and then go ahead and mail it to yourself. That way, when you're doing your research, you're trying to figure out, what was that source? Where did I find it in the library? You can have it right here in the email. So here's my article that I emailed myself. Here's the whole article here. So if I can't remember which quote I wanted, I can go back and look at it right here in my email. And then also, if I wanted to look at it in the library again, I can scroll all the way down. Do you see where it says document URL and it says libproxy SDSU? If I click on that, that will take me right back into the library to look at my source, and again, maybe looking at citing it or whatever else I want to do. So use these two sources, New York Times, to find good articles on for your essay, right? So either New York Times #1 International Edition or New York Times #4. That way you will be more likely to find good articles and not make the mistake of using non-academic sources for your paper. Thank you.